Hi everyone, good evening. This is Inga again. Today I wanted to make a video about how I make my backgrounds with distress inks, with splashing them, wetting them, something like this, and even with using some stencils on top of these very, I don't know, backgrounds that are not too bright. That's the goal for today, not too bright, because the more water you use, the less sort of muted, diluted colors you will get. And I like to do that because if I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to use them for, I want a neutral background. Maybe a little bit of color in it that I know I will use, like these have a little bit of pink and gray brown in them, a little bit of blue, because I want to use them for the little personas. But today I wanted to play with my greens and my browns for the autumn colors. But first I have something else exciting to show you, because today I went to my favorite craft store, and I hope you can see it already. This is my new treasure, and I'm going to work on it this weekend. I've already started a little bit. I hope you can see it. Yes, you can, like this. This is going to be my new journal for collaging large pieces. I love that this is sort of ledger paper, because even though it's modern, I will make it old. I'm going to use lots of browns. As you can see, I've already damaged it, the paper, but that's okay. It's all in the process. I'm going to use this to make a large collage in it with the new books. This is the rice paper, but most of all, I'm going to have play. I don't feel very confident yet that I can do this play on tape or on video, because I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I will be using also vintage things like postage stamps, little labels, little tags, what have you. So I think I'll just do this on the weekend, and then maybe if I figured it out, I will come back to you. But oh, that's my cat. You know, she hears me talk and she thinks like, yeah, I want attention too. We're just going to ignore her. But at this one, you know, it was quite expensive. And I can understand that not everybody has this kind of money. So I also went to the dollar store today and I looked for a cheaper option. Maybe this is not as good as that one, but look, this is 20 by 20. It is square. The paper is, let me check. Where is it? Can we see? Yeah, 240 grams. And it has 40 sheets. So you can even, like, it's pretty decent. I think for collages, it will hold up. If you're really going to put a lot of wet media in it, and with wet, I mean, like distress inks and then water it, yeah, that will definitely affect it. But yeah, you just have to be patient, I think. You know, put layers in between, dry it, and then this is a very good alternative. I definitely will be using this book to make the collages that I'm doing right now without all the blending. Just, you know, make a background and then stuck it in here, because I think that's perfect for it. But yeah, this was at Action. Couple of bucks, really good alternative. So what do we need for today? We need paper. I'm going to use the A6 paper, like I have shown you before. If you see my cat breaking in, that's normal. It comes in a package like this, and oh, they had so much new stuff at Doing. I was so excited. Spent a lot of money. Got a new whole pack, so we have lots to practice with. When I do this, I take at least like 2 or 3, because I'm going to wet it and then put another one on top. So let's just get out 4 pages. We are going to use those. like I said, we are going to use distress ink. Oh, sorry, I think I just knocked the camera. Yeah, it's still good. I'm going to go for greens this time, and maybe not the greens you would usually go for, like forest moss and crushed olive in combination with peel paint, but I think it could be a winner. Then we also are going to go for browns. I love old paper because it's a really versatile color. It's a little bit of brown, but it also has a lot of green in it, so it will mix up very, very nice. I have a distress spray bottle. You can use this to water your paper, but also the ink. Yeah, this is really good. It was $4.95, but they have this of other brands as well, and use what you have. I also have, sometimes I use them, but not so much for this technique, just the normal. Also bought it at the dollar store like this. This is also perfect for it. Not so much for making the inks, and I will show you later. If you really want to see the master doing this, you have to go watch the YouTubes of Tim Holtz, because he does it really well. I'm only copying him. And you need a craft tool. What I really like about this one, it becomes really hot, but it doesn't blow. It's not like a hair blower. So your paper, if you have little bits, goes everywhere. And of course, what we also need is paper towel. And I will just use the whole roll and a little bit like this. We're going to be using a lot of that. Okay, so in addition, later on, I will be using stencils. I've chosen these two. And we will make some fun marks on the paper. I haven't used that on this one, but yeah, let me show you how what a nice effect you're going to get. Let's start with something easy. I will start with some lighter colors, because you can always add more color, but it's very hard to take away from it. You need a lot of water if you have too much. I hope you can see. Yeah, I'm going to smash it on here. This is old paper. I'm going to use a little bit of crushed olive. And I'm thinking, yeah, let's just do, almost dropping a little bit of forest moss. Putting these aside for now, because you can use them at any time. I'm going to spray up the ink. I'm going to put this here, because I don't want the idea is that you get your paper really, really wet. So I'm going to also wet my paper and then just blot it off. Now, you think, oh, this is what a mess. Yes, it is. I'm going to take another paper, wet this as well, and then put it on top of here, like this. See, it instantly takes the color. Careful that you don't really do it, like that. There you go. Now, this is very, very wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper towel and roll it already. Also on this, the little imprint that you get from the paper towel, I'm not sure if you can see it, maybe, it goes away. When it all dries, you don't see anything. Like for now, you already have a very pretty, soft colored green background. What we can do is just go back, because the background is still very wet. Going to add again a little water, because I don't want the ink to soak in immediately, because if you do that you get very harsh lines, and that's not what we're looking for at this stage. Maybe later on, but not just now. Oh, she's on top of everything. I hope she doesn't jump onto the... That's it. I had to give her a little bit. So what I do now is I'm going to dry this a little bit. It's going to be a little bit noisy. Sorry for that. But I don't have the skills yet to turn off the sound for this. So just bear with me. And that's it. They don't need a lot because, you know, we're still going to work on them. They're very green right now, and I want to add a little bit more of pumice stone, a little bit more brown. So I'm going to put that on there, and then a little bit, I think, okay, the twigs. Oh, that's a juicy one. That's going to be very, going to wet them. I'm going to put them aside a little bit because I'm afraid that they will overpower the green. Oh, let me get that. I'm going to wet this one, and then I'm going to go like this. Yeah, like a little bit of that. And now I'm just going to add some brown here, and also, so you're basically just dabbing on top. Little bit, little bit, little bit. Yeah, totally okay. I'm going to put it like this so you can see what is happening. If you think, yeah, I like that pattern, you can just dry it. I really love this one because you can see a little bit of brown, you can see some green. Not a big fan of this. So what I could do is just add a little bit more water, and then because distressings always react to water, you'll always have a little bit like the green will react as well. And look what happens with this. This is gorgeous. I like that a lot. I hope my hair and head is not too much in the thing. I don't know about you, but I really like this. These two, yeah, definitely. I'm going to dab it up a bit. It's okay if you have some white space left, because you know that's just adds to the whole background, and you can always fill it up later when you're going to place your collage on here. You can just add distressing by brush, or you know, a foam dabber. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to put this one aside because I'm really happy with this. This needs a little bit of work, not too much, and I'm going to focus now on this one because this is just brown with a tiny bit of green in it, and we really want to do that. I'm going to throw this out because that is completely saturated and we don't need that. I think, oh sorry, going to go again with the forest moss. I'm standing now behind my desk instead of sitting, and it really makes me question where everything is. So I need to do a little bit more practice. Okay, there we go. Ooh, oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. I like those colors. The Rustic Wilderness is a really more, yeah, pine, almost wintry green. I like that. Yep. Let's put this here. Let's put this here. Totally going to put this. Yep. See? Just a little bit, not too much, because I like what is happening. I'm going to try this one. I have a big cutting mat underneath my glass mat, so to protect my desk, because yeah, everything with me is always gets dirty when I do these things. And yeah, so be careful. It doesn't take an awful lot of time to dry them, just so you can handle them again. Yep, okay. All right. I'm thinking maybe I could do with, oh, look at that. This is really what I like. What you can see is that the colors are going to separate a little bit and blur out. Yeah, you can almost see that it's going to be a little bit more gray. I'm thinking, should I do a little bit more of crushed olive on this one? Brushed corduroy. Let's try and see what that does. Some colors do this kind of thing more than others. Oh, it's a very orangey brown, this. And as you can see, if you, like, I did this one first, and you completely dab it up. But with this one, the color is so stained, it really stains the paper. It's also possible that this was much drier, so you get a different effect every time, whether or not, depending on your paper, if it's wet, if it's not, if it's half dry. So, you know, the thing is, just go and play. Don't expect anything. Like, I never hope I'm going to get the perfect paper. Some days I do, some days I'm like, yeah, I don't really like all of them. And then later on, after a couple of days, I look at them again and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe better. You know what I really like this is that you also have this blurring out, but they're very yellowy green. And I really like the Rustic Wilderness. So far I have used Distress ink, but let me get the Distress Oxide ink, because that gives a whole different effect as well. And I can add here, oh, let me get it, sorry, out of picture now, but I can't find my Rustic Wilderness. Well, that's okay. I'm going to use Modelon because that is like a bright, really bright. But the thing is, if you oxidize it, it can give a really nice effect. This one I like, but this one is a bit too. So I'm just going to see what happens if I take, ooh, wow, this is electric. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah, that is bonus for me. Really, really bonus. I like that. It's more of a springy green, but still, I like that a lot. I'm going to actually add a little bit of here. I think you can really play with it. Look at that. Just dab it up a bit, you know, because, like, see, it doesn't stay as bright, but it gives just a little bit of pop of color. Yeah, I really like that. So that gives me, I think we're going to play a little bit with a darker brown, like gathered twigs. Not happy yet. And I can go on and on sometimes like this, you know, like, yeah, adding this, adding that. And as you can see, like the papers aren't soaking wet, but they're wet enough. So they really, yeah. So what do you think of the new fall books? Do you like them? I absolutely love them. And it's hard sometimes to create the right colors, because let me get the book for you so you can see. Let me just, like here, this back. See, this is a much more yellowy green. But at the same time, we can add that. We can add the more sort of pineish green like that with stencils. So you have to understand, like for instance, if I take this one, this green could really go well with like rustic wilderness. This maybe even pine tree. This is just the background, and we are going to add a lot more on it. We can add paint on it later on. So don't try to add too much in the beginning, because you can always layer more and more on top. The good thing is we can also add red, because red and green make mud. So I'm thinking maybe we should add a little bit of aged, oh, you can see it, aged mahogany. So deep dark red, and we could, let me use this one. Ooh, oh wow, well that's instant fall, right? That is fall for you right there. Nice. Just going to, it's maybe a bit too much. Yeah. See, I'm using a lot of paper towel. I mean, I'm really going through it like crazy, but that's okay. Just going to put these aside for a while now so they can dry. I'm thinking I have pine needle here, and maybe we need to add it to the mix together with rustic wilderness, or we could here we go. Yeah, I like that. Ooh. Again, I mean, I'm not going to touch that. I really like that. This is already building up layers. Yeah, it gives me a lot of joy to see that. Going to put a little bit more on here. See what happens here. Some places you may think, oh, it's getting really dull. I like this, like that it's really light here and some darker here. Yeah, totally. I think it was a good decision to add some pine needles. So, again, this doesn't need blotting because it's already a little bit faint. I'm going to leave it here and just going to dry it, because we have now 4 wet, and that's too much that I can handle here on the table. So I'm just going to dry it. When it dries, it buckles, and that's because the moist disappears from the paper, and not in even a way, but you know, the areas where you heat it, it goes extra. All you have to do is just heat it on the other side as well, and it sort of tries to go back to its original shape, see? And later on, when it dries, you can put it like 2 days on a really big fat encyclopedia or a dictionary, and it becomes flat again. I've never had any problem. like, is it exactly the same as normal paper you would get straight from the pad? No, absolutely not, but it's good enough. So yeah, this one, okay, we're just going to leave it here. Now, moving on to this one. I think, looking at what we have, I'm ready to add some stenciling. And I'm thinking to do, I don't really like the red there. It's a bit, yeah, I don't know. But you know, that's okay, because half of it is going to be covered up anyway. That's no problem. So I'm just going to leave it. See, it becomes a little bit of more pink. This one goes there. This one. Oh. What you don't want is harsh lines. So don't put your pad directly onto the paper, because then you get like a square and nobody wants that. That's not what we're aiming for now. Yeah, putting it on the back again. See, paper goes back beautifully. Okay, last one. What I love about the paper, this paper, is that it's, as it's wet, it's very almost like fabric. But you can do so much with it. I mean, look at how many layers already we've put on here, and it still stays good. So yeah, it's a relatively well thought of paper. You can either use watercolor paper or mixed media paper. And this is not like the most expensive paper. So use what you have. Try from the dollar store, try whatever you have. I mean, you don't have to spend a fortune. I'm taking new ones. Okay, so what are we going to do now? What I want to do is add stenciling. Stenciling like this. So what we have here is our dried paper. And if you feel there's still a little bit of moist in there, that's okay. It's not a big problem. But they're fairly dry. I mean, there's no real water coming off. I'm afraid to ruin this one. Really are. Yeah, we're just going to do it anyway. Or at least we're going to try. I think I'm going to use Pumice stone first, because that's not, how do you say it? It's not a very dark color. So yeah, what I am doing is I'm putting it down so you can see. I'm now directly putting this on top of the stencil, getting my water bottle and wetting it, and then put this out of the way. I'm going to use my stencil to stamp on here. I've used a lot of water, as you can see. What happens is that you can see the outline of the stencil on the paper. I'm going to dry it because I like how subtle this is. I was afraid I was going to ruin it, but I'm not. I really like, and you can see that it instantly dries like that. And you can also, now that it's a little bit more, you can do this, and let me hold it up to the camera. You can really see here the outline of the stencil. This is like a little bit too wet. I think we could try a little bit more bold. And we can do that. Where is it? Here. Taking gather twigs. Look at it. If you have paint on your stencil like I have, it will affect a little bit. But that's okay, because we don't want a solid print. We just want a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, just here, put it down. And a little bit here. Oh, yeah. absolutely love it. Wow. Something came off, but it's okay. Yeah, I really like this. This is a background I can see myself using, because it has so much layers, so much interest in it. And like I said before, this is just the base. And you've when I'm going to use this, I'm going to stamp on it, I'm going to ink the edges. I might even go also with the stencil, but then through the stencil. So it's absolutely no problem to keep adding and adding until you're satisfied. So don't think like, oh, it doesn't have enough color. You can always add more. You really, really can. Yeah, I like it. I'm not going to add anything more on this, because I can totally see myself putting more stamping on here. This one we're going to keep. Now, let me get this one. I'm going to try, see if I can make another sort of impression. Yes, we can. Not too much, but a little bit, you know, and that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to blot this off, because I don't want you to listen to me blow drying everything for the entire video. That will be too much. Let me get the other stencil, and I really feel like I'm going to do with forest moss. The fact that this stencil is smaller doesn't really matter, because look what I'm going to do with it. That's the thing, the beauty of this. Yeah, I think I will need a little bit more. That's the only downside of it being too small. You're going to have to do it again. Making sure that you have enough. Making sure that you have enough beauty. Yes, very, very good. And look how much, yeah, look how much interest that gives. I really like that. I really do. I'm not going to change anything about this. I like the variation. And now all of a sudden, you see here the pink that I didn't like. Yeah, don't see that anymore. It doesn't bother me now, because it's really caught up in the rest of the design. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I gave you a pretty good idea how you're going to do this. I'm going to finish off the other ones, and then you can see the end results in the picture. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you like it, and maybe even consider subscribing to my channel. I will try to post at least once a week. If I feel up to it, I will do a little bit more. And I will also try to do my videos in English, because I know a lot of you are watching from abroad. Thank you so much again, and well, I hope to see what you create. Bye bye.